Okay, well, welcome to episode 23 of the Archispeak. Yes, okay, take two. Welcome to the Oh, man.
What's architecture really about? Archispeak is a show that dares to peek under the architectural kimono, exposing what architecture really is, what it is that architects really do, and show you why we are passionate about our chosen profession. I'm Evan Troxel. Join Neal Pan, Cormac Phelan, and me as we have a casual conversation about all things architecture, which includes all the stuff people don't talk about. Think you already know what architecture is really about? Tune in to find out. It's time for some Archispeak.
Welcome to episode 23 of the Archispeak Podcast. I'm Neal Pan.
I'm Evan Troxel.
And I'm Cormac Phelan.
And for this episode, we thought we'd do something a little special and talk about gifts for architects.
That's right. This would be fun. Because no one knows what to buy architects, right? Are we the hardest people to shop for?
My wife says so.
So this episode is for everyone else out there who doesn't listen to our podcast, so that everybody who does can say, just listen to this. Hopefully we get some good gifts on here. I'm counting on you guys.
I'm counting on you. Didn't you do your homework? Didn't you put it in there? Oh no, this will be a short podcast then.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, are we calling it gifts for architects or gifts for me? Because then it changes it all completely.
Gifts for I think you're gonna like what I have.
Well, I think you're gonna like what I have. So let's see. Evan, why don't you start us off? Because you have a special gift.
That's right, and we wanted to start off with this one because it is an Archispeak product, right? So this is something we're going to come out with this year, right when this podcast launches live. We're going to have the Archispeak T-shirt, and the cool thing about this is that you're going to be able to look good and support the show when you're wearing it, because by purchasing the T-shirts, that goes towards supporting Archispeak Podcast. So check out, and actually I think we should say this up front. The show notes for this episode are going to be super important, right? Because it's going to have all the links to all the cool stuff that we're talking about. And so the first one that you're going to see when you go to archispeakpodcast.com/episodes/23, you're going to see the Archispeak T-shirt. And so it's only going to be available for a couple weeks. And I think the 29th is going to be the last day that it's available. And as soon as all the orders are in, and who's not going to order this thing, right? We are going to stop the orders, stop the availability, and place the orders and get these things printed up and shipped out to everybody. So I think this is going to be super cool. And the design of the T-shirt, if you go to archispeakpodcast.com/shirt, you can see exactly what it looks like. We've got men's, we've got women's. You can order more than one, of course, and order one for your significant other, and look good together and support the show at the same time. So that's my first gift. Can you outdo that one?
Well, I don't know if I can outdo it, but...
Nor do you want to.
Nor do I want to. Exactly.
That is the best gift on the whole list right there.
But I've got a gift that I want to start off with that is based on some feedback that I got back from asking that question actually from some of our listeners and followers as an architect or an aspiring architect. What would you want for the holidays? What gift? And this is not one gift, but it's kind of all related. And it's really kind of three different things. One, the first one was more work. The other one was a break, and the other one was more time. I think those two are kind of similar, but are
I'm
related.
Asking for my friend.
Yes, exactly.
Did anybody say more sleep?
Not more sleep. No, but our friend
Wow.
Mark LePage did say he needed to take a nap. So.
That's close
so
enough.
that's close enough. That works.
Yeah, totally.
But we all need more work right now, and that would be a great gift for anybody. I mean, this is a slow time of year typically in our profession. Although I've never really understood why, because if you want to build in the spring, and after the thaw, I mean, most of the country is going through a really cold and wintry time right now in early December, and this is the time to get the drawings done, right?
Man, we're slammed right now, and I can tell you that because of the working with the Department of State Architect, all the plans that have been in development this year have to get in before the end of the year because the code change goes into effect, and the energy requirements are way more strict next year. So, tons of projects trying to get in before the deadline.
Which one are you guys under right now?
California Code. Yeah, it's California Code 2010, based on
probably
IBC.
IBC.
Yeah,
I forget what year it is, though.
2009. Then.
2009.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Because
we've adopted 2012, and the ANSI code has really stringent on the energy side of things. So
the difference between putting in a project in December versus January is enormous, and there's just no way. You'd have to start over. So there we are.
And we're December's never a slow month for us, especially when we are putting schools out to bid. We usually put them out to bid December, January, go through, the permitting process, go through the bid, or at least going through the permit process. We put them out, goes through the permit process, and then pretty much right around, maybe March, we go out to bid. Then, we're ready to get started, sign contracts and everything else, and ready to get started right at the end of the school year. So it kind of gives us that nice little 6 month between the start of the year to the end of the school year to get everything ready to go for that big summer push of trying to build as much of the building as you can in the summertime. Right.
Well, that's the work side. The break side, time to pause the deadline frenzy. Exactly what you guys both are talking about. It's a good time to do that. Hopefully, at the end of the year, we all get to take a little bit of time to spend with our families and friends. And something else I thought as part of the time portion is that somebody commented on was take time to learn or refine a new skill or to better integrate it. And these are all good gifts. And Evan, I think you had added to this by saying, maybe a suggestion is make a coupon for the architects in your life for some of these things.
And, I don't know if you guys, I get coupons from my kids, right? And one's like a back rub, and one's a car wash, and one's a day off to hang out with me. And I just thought, that's a perfect gift from a significant other, is to say, take a day of your own and just relax, and I'm not going to bug you. That would be awesome. So good idea.
Yeah.
All right, Cormac, you're up.
All right. Well, the first one I want to throw out there, we've got a follower on Instagram that we've been chatting back and forth. His name's Mike Dudek, and I'm hoping I pronounce his last name right. And he runs the clickypost.com. It's basically a review site for pens, pencils, and all that other stuff. So, of course, that would be one place that I gravitate to. And but he also makes these wooden pencil holders. So what my gift is the Dudek Modern Goods pencil holders called the Groove and the Display. And these are handmade, made to order wooden pencil holders and sketchbook holders. You'd be supporting a local or just a made in USA product and small business, and we'll have a link to that.
These are super nice.
Yeah,
super cool.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, if you go to clickypost.com.
Yes, and then
you can
follow
check
the
them
link
out.
to the store, and then you'll see all of his the stuff there. And later on, I'll tell you about another gift, and you can see it in his store, but it's a link to one of the pens that's sitting in his as a model for his pen holders.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Field Notes notebooks. Those are super cool too.
Yeah, actually, I was going to put those in there too, but me being partial to the moleskin, I was going to say that the easy no-brainer is especially buying a gift for me, is a pack of moleskins. But the Field Note sketchbooks are really nice. And
what I love about those is you can buy a subscription to them, and they've got some really cool designs that come out. And so you've always got like 3 notebooks coming in the mail, so you never feel bad like using them up because you know another set's coming.
Yeah,
very cool. So I will add that to the list while we're there.
Right, we need to.
But yeah, Field Notes, those are cool. All right, so my turn again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see here. The next one that I have on mine, I kind of leaned toward the technology side on some of these things. So I just picked one of these up, and I like to put stuff on the list that either I have already got and I've tried it out, or I plan on getting, you'll see as we get through this. But I just picked up this Logitech keyboard. And so, a lot of architects are on their Mac or their PC, and they're on their iPad, and they're on their iPhone. And if you're traveling, or you're on the train, or you're at Starbucks or whatever, a lot of times, when we're using all we have with us is an iPad or an iPhone. And if you're going to be typing up something, the on-screen keyboard works, right? It works really well. But I picked this thing up because this is one keyboard that's solar powered, so it's you never have to charge the batteries, but it works over Bluetooth, and it has 3 buttons on it, and you can connect to all 3 devices. Just clicking one button changes, so it's already paired up with all these different devices. And so this is on, I found it on Amazon, but it's called the Logitech Wireless Solar Keyboard K760. And I love it because I can have my iPad and I have a real keyboard to type on, and I hit a button and it's controlling my Mac, and I hit another button and it's controlling my iPhone if I ever wanted to type on that. Or if you have an Apple TV, you can also hook it up for that, which is super cool to be able to search. If you've ever had a Apple TV where you've had to search for a video or something and you've got to use the on-screen search, it's a pain in the butt. But if you have a keyboard like a Bluetooth, which the Apple TV has, you can just type. So this is super cool. Never have to charge the batteries. I'm really loving it so far. So that's my next pick.
Awesome. Never used one of those.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool and easy. If you have the Apple one, you can only hook it up to one device at a time. And so this solves that problem. It's very, very handy.
Cool.
All right, who's next?
Right. I believe it's me, and I'm gonna kind of dovetail off of the last one here a little bit, and not a specific gift, but something that might help you refine those new skills and better integrate them. Is talk about software. And just kind of a general comment, upgrading your software so you can be more productive and commit to training and learning new tricks. So that's a good gift to maybe give to yourself. I know a lot of people, kind of buy something, buy AutoCAD or Revit or Vectorworks or or Archicad, any number of different programs, and they kind of stick with them for 2 or 3 or 4 years, and really don't upgrade. And you really should take a look at possibly upgrading that software at some point, and so you can be more productive. And because usually there's great features that usually come out each year, every couple of years, in a piece of software that really can improve your productivity. So
I've got a good website for that.
And
have you heard of it? getmethod.com.
I knew that was coming.
For some reason, I don't think Neal did.
No, I was not thinking that.
Okay, so I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here, because this will be out by the time the podcast comes out. But you guys know about that, my Maxwell Grass presets that I launched a few weeks ago for Form Z and Bonsai. Well, it turns out, not a lot of people use Form Z and Bonsai. But SketchUp, on the other hand, a lot of SketchUp users out there. And, there's free version of SketchUp and there's a free version of Maxwell Render. So I worked my tail off last weekend and I came up with my Maxwell presets for SketchUp. And those are going on sale tomorrow. So I'm excited to launch that, but I'm also excited to kind of get people to make their images look better. And, that's what that site's all about, is kind of taking everybody's skills to the next level, which is what you're talking about, Neal. So
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm excited about that. And I have a ton of free video tutorials on that site. And I love kind of sharing all the stuff that I know about this stuff. And because ultimately, I just want there to be way better architecture in the world. And so I feel like if I can help make the digital design process less painful for people, then we are going to have better architecture. So that's what that site's all about. So it's getmethod.com.
Perfect. I mean, that's exactly where I was going with that. So
cool.
I'm
excited.
That's what I think that people should really seriously think about. That take some of that Christmas money and get upgraded and start using some new features and learn a few new tricks by going to getmethod.com.
That's one place.
That's one place.
Cool.
All right, Cormac, you're up.
Man, I can't follow that. Stop the show. Just get method.
Nice tagline.
There you go. I'm going to go back to the gift list again and support another small business. At that Dudek Modern Gifts pen holders, inside there was some fantastic pens, and I had asked Mike about some of the pens that he has in there, and there's this great, I believe it's a hot rod shop in Arizona, but it's called Karis Customs, and they actually also make machined aluminum ballpoint pens, and
wow.
the tooling on these pens, and just the they use the water jet to form these pens and everything else. They use some high-tech innards from Germany, and they're just really solid, nice pens. And so they've got a line, and they've got a bunch of different lines, but the one in particular is just this machined aluminum ballpoint pen, and it is called, and I've completely forgotten it already. It is called the Retract, and it's this just absolutely beautiful pen. And of course I can get geeked out on pens too, so we've already done that. That was last show, but go check them out. And they've got videos on their website too, about the just these guys kind of yucking it up and getting a little silly with some of the stuff that they make. But they make some really nice looking pens.
Man, those look awesome.
Yeah. And also, while we're there, and I'm going to throw this one out too because it's on the same website, is an iPhone sound projector, and it's called the Projectone, and basically cool. It's another machined aluminum sound dock, basically that you can fit. You fit your cord into, so you can charge while you're projecting sound. But they played a video, and I'm sure both of you guys have done this with, when you're playing video on your phone, you kind of cup your hand around the speakers, and it kind of projects the sound back to you, and it gets a little bit louder.
Yeah.
Well, that's essentially the philosophy behind this particular little cool thing, and it's just I like it because it's so beautifully machined. I mean, very much like the iPhone itself, and how just kind of sleek and cool the iPhone looks. I mean, these parts. I mean, they build parts for hot rods and stuff, so you really can't go wrong with it. So it's really cool. So check that out, and we'll have some links to those. But you're gonna again be supporting some good local small businesses.
Yeah,
that's very cool. I like that.
Yeah, very cool. Oh, is it me again already?
Yep.
It's you again already.
Jeez. Okay.
We got a lot of stuff on the list, so we gotta keep moving.
All right. So next, let's go back to tech here. The transporter sink. Have you guys seen this thing? It's
yes, I have.
It's this little hockey puck shaped device, and it comes out on the 20th, at least on Amazon here. So it's not available yet, but at the end of next week. So actually, about a week after this episode goes out,
just in time for Christmas.
That's right, and you can pre-order it, and I think it's $99. And this thing plugs into your computer, and basically it allows you to access all of your files from any device. So you can access it from your mobile device, from a laptop on the road, whatever. So it's like what they call it is your own private Dropbox. And I know that you guys both use Dropbox, and I use the heck out of Dropbox. But this is cool because it's under your control, and only you have access to it unless you specifically want to give access to somebody else, either a file or a folder. And so I'm really looking forward to this thing. I've heard a lot of good things about people who have already been using it and testing it out. And this is a really good company. It's called the Transporter. The Transporter Sync is this particular device. It gives you access to everything.
Yeah. What I like about it too, and maybe it's not the sync, but one of the other transporter devices, is that you can basically expand it to whatever size hard drive you want to plug into it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's great because I'm always filling up Dropbox, and
exactly.
You plug in 2 terabyte hard drive, you're never going to fill it.
Yeah. Yeah, so my plan is to plug my Drobo into it, which can hold 4 3-terabyte drives in it.
Wow.
And you have access to everything. Yeah, it's super cool. I'm looking forward to it. So
you're creating cloud server.
Exactly. That's my next pick. And the cool thing is for architects, I mean, if you're running a small office and you want to share project files with people, you can do that, and it'll stay on your hard drive, and people can just be accessing it, making changes, and when they hit save, it's saving it right back to your drive. So that file never has to leave your control, and you can have people working all over the place, kind of just accessing that one particular file, saving to it, and it's a way to kind of have that extended office. So it's really cool.
Yeah, this is going to be really useful, I think, for small offices.
Yeah,
or
the price point's amazing. Yeah,
the sole proprietor shop, because Dropbox is something I do use for some of my consulting work, and I mean, you run into now. I'm using the free Dropbox, and I have a limited capacity, and with something like this, I could set it up and share it with my different consultants, and
right.
And not have to deal with that problem. So I'm liking this. I'm real curious to see what you think, Evan, once you get it. How it works for you.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I've heard a lot about Transporter and Drobo. They bought it, so it used to be guys from Drobo that started the company, and
right.
Drobo bought them back in, and so it's I don't know. I'm excited to see this. So. And in fact, that leads right into my next item, because if you're going to be accessing these files, and you have something with that only costs $4.99 and has a somewhat limited storage space, the iPad Air is a great gift for that architect that and with the Transporter Sync, you could have all the space you want and not have to spend for the 32 or the 64 gigabyte model. But I think that iPad Air is I'm leaning on the technology side too here for a little bit. But I think that's another great gift for an architect or for me or for anyone.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I got the iPad Air the day it came out, and man, it is a huge improvement, because before that I I had the iPad 1, I had the 2, I had the 3, and then I skipped the 4 because they came out 6 months apart, and I didn't want to feel bad about myself. So I did buy the Air, and the cool thing about these is how light they are. I mean, that's where the name comes from. And to me, this is the iPad that they wanted to make when they first came out with the iPad. I mean,
I would
it's
agree.
so fast, it's so light. If you're wondering, if it's worth the hype, it is awesome. It's totally like the iPad. I would call it the iPad.
So what's the big difference between... Now, I've got the 4. What's the big difference between that and the Air?
It's a little bit smaller all around, except for the screen. The screen stayed the same. It's got the same Retina screen, but it is way thinner and way lighter. It's like
almost a third lighter.
A third lighter, yeah.
Not quite, but almost
it's
a third
huge
lighter.
Difference. Huge difference.
They decreased the bezel size, which made it physically smaller, which probably accounts for a lot of the decrease in the amount of weight. So I would say, those two things there.
It's also the internals. I mean, it's a 64-bit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's way faster. It's got more RAM in it, and so they were able to. What I've heard is that they were able to make the new A7 chip and by separating the motion chip off of there.
Right.
They've been able to really cut back on how much battery this thing uses, and so it still has the same amazing battery life, which is like 10 or 12 hours.
Right.
But it's supposedly some paper thin battery that's the entire size of the iPad.
Well, the capacity of the battery is actually less than the previous generation, but because it's so much more efficient with its A7 processor and other things that they did, that they can squeeze the same amount of battery life. So just an amazing, feat of engineering. But for the architect, I think it's an incredible device, and paired with your Bluetooth keyboard that you mentioned earlier.
Exactly.
It can be a good productivity tool. I know I use it to write without a keyboard. I don't do extensive writing, but I'll write notes. I'll take notes in either Evernote or in the Notepad app, and all of that syncs back to my computers. You can use it for texting or using iMessage, I guess I should say. And it's a great on-the-go collaboration tool for my email, my contacts, my calendars, my tasks, everything that I do on my desktop. From that aspect, I can do here. And then it's also, the way I've used it professionally is as a portfolio. Really, I mean, when I go meet with a client, I can show them photographs of of projects I've done or their own project. I haven't quite gotten into it yet, but there are viewer type apps by several different CAD companies where you can take your own CAD plans. I know AutoCAD has the Autodesk 360. Vectorworks has their Nomad app that allows you to basically pull up your files and make comments and edits on them. There are some punch list type apps out there that can be very useful if you do a lot of that type of work. So, just an amazing light, like barely over a pound, full-size tablet device that, quite honestly, is probably the class of tablets out there, and it, has the whole entire iTunes ecosystem around it, an app ecosystem that, just can't be beat. So,
yeah, and I would say, like, one thing that I've really noticed with the iPad is, if we all get a ton of email, right? I've noticed I can crank through email on this thing because there's nothing else on the screen at the same time. I mean, just the nature of kind of them rethinking how we interact with applications has really allowed the ability to focus on one thing at a time instead of multitasking and Twitter notifications popping up and iMessage coming in and email popping up while you're trying to pay a bill on your website. You're trying to do 5 different things at once. Well, this really focuses you into doing one thing at a time, and you can plow through stuff. I've really found that it's allowed me to focus a lot more, and that's one thing I love about it. And the other thing is, as far as architecture goes on the iPad, if you have a chance, check out the link to the NoVeg Google Hangout that I did, and I showed some stuff that we're doing on the iPad that's just amazing. I call it the magic window, where you're looking through the iPad, looking at your 3D model. It looks like it's sitting on your desk, using augmented reality and using the Revisto software, so you can do it's like you're in a video game, but it's your own building. There's some awesome stuff out there that the iPad is allowing us to do. I've even got an app running at work where I can walk out into the parking lot like I'm really walking through my building and looking around at it, and it is just awesome.
Wow. It's
the coolest thing ever. So there's so many amazing things out there that people are doing with this. Everything is going mobile, and just being able to be anywhere. It knows where you are because of the GPS chip in it, so you can actually walk through a building looking through your iPad, and you can see what the building's going to feel like. It's totally amazing.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So Cormac, cool. we're gonna throw that in now. Now you get to follow that.
All right. Well,
have you heard of Post-it notes?
Yes. Post-it notes. 3x3 orange. Orange, gotta be orange.
Gotta be orange.
From the 3M company. They're just fantastic.
I've never heard of the 3M company.
But
that's not on your list.
It's not on my list. But if anybody wants to send me a crate of them, I'd be more than happy to start back up my my daily Post-it note sketches.
You heard it here first.
No, actually, on my list I have this set, so and I'll kind of explain why. But the films of Charles and Ray Eames.
Nice.
And the reason I suggest that mainly is because of the short Powers of 10.
Yeah.
And I truly believe, and it dismays me every time I ask and get no as the answer, but it should be standard for every first year studio. It was one of the first things we did in studio was we watched the Powers of 10.
How cool.
What they were trying to get across to us. And I still use that philosophy today is when you're designing, look at both the micro and macro view. Zoom out, zoom back in, change your perspective, look at it in a different light, have other people look at it, and just kind of understand the building from all sorts of different views. And the Powers of 10, as I just think it's a fantastic short that it explains that so succinctly. It clarified this point that they were trying to make about how you view your building and or just how you view anything really. And I just think that the box set itself, I mean, there's a lot of different, there's both architectural and non-architectural movies in there, and they're just amazingly creative. I mean, this was, that husband and wife team were some amazingly creative people. And the box set of films that they have, it shows how creative these people were.
There's two things in that really stood out to me. And the first one is what you're saying, is it's all about that sense of exploration. You've got to look at all these different scales from all these different angles, and you've got to look at it from every perspective you possibly can, right? And you're listening to people, and you're taking all that in, and you're doing all your research, and you're solving particular problems. And that whole aspect of exploration is super important. And the second one is that how everything works together. Whether it's micro or macro, it's all part of the same system. And that film just epitomizes that whole concept. It's awesome.
you're right. Shows the interconnectedness of everything, and yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Great one. Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna follow that up with socks.
All right.
How's that sound? Because that one is so good. But this is cool. Have you guys heard of... I actually heard about these guys through fab.com, which I'm sure you've seen some of their advertising on different social media and stuff. But there's this company called Zorab. It's Zoraab. And I think this would be a cool gift because I love these guys' socks. And what it is you can get a sock subscription through these guys. You can just buy what I did originally was I got, because I love having funky socks, right? I think it's part of being a designer.
This is so you, Evan.
Totally, right?
It is.
And so what I did was, it's so cool. You sign up, and they'll send you 2 pairs of socks every month, and you don't know what you're going to get. And I thought this was perfect because you tell it, I like funky socks, I like business socks, I like whatever they are. You can pick the different categories, and then they just send you what they think you're going to like. And talk about cool, like getting a present in the mail every month, and you don't know, it's a total surprise. Like, that was super cool. So you can buy gift cards, you can get a subscription, but if you have an architect in your life, I think that they would love to get some Zorab socks.
So this is way better than the Jelly of the Month Club. Is that what you're saying?
It's the Sock of the Month Club.
Sock of the Month Club.
Sock of the Month Club.
Yeah, and they've got some cool socks.
Actually, I'm looking through some now, and just what they show, going through the steps of, you choose a plan, you complete a quiz,
right?
And then
Wow.
it starts talking about the sock selections and everything. It kind of reminds me, I just got my son a pair of pretty funky socks for his birthday. He's a big, huge Doctor Who fan, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 4th Doctor who wore this big, huge, long, colorful scarf. Well, I got him these big, long, colorful socks that are in the same pattern.
Awesome.
And you should see, I mean, he
wears them proud.
He wears them proud, and he tries to wear them every day. And I think the reason why he tries to wear them every day is because he knows that I am looking longingly at them and want to wear them. I said, "Come on, man, let me wear your socks just once."
Too funny.
Nice.
Yeah, so they've got different themes and stuff, but I
This
like
is cool.
I like the
this is
the random nature of it. I thought that was just like a super cool idea.
I could never get away with this, but it's very cool. I'm
You
not
can't.
cool. No, I'm not cool enough to wear this.
They've got the Mona Lisa, they've got Starry Night on socks. I mean, you can get anything. It's pretty
This is
fun.
way cool.
Anyway, super
It is.
fun gift.
Nice. Very cool.
All right, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to go next with. I'm going to
Jelly
save
of the
mine
Month
kind
Club.
of. No. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, that's a Christmas Vacation reference there. No, I'm going to stick with the technology here, and Evan, I'm going to need a little bit of help from you because you may have some suggestions. But one of the suggestions, somebody that responded to me today was a 3D printer would be a cool gift.
Heck yeah.
And I did a little bit of looking around and saw some by MakerBot.
Yep.
But these are a little pricey. This is about a $2,000 item, this particular one I was looking at. Although I did see a number of others that were, quite a bit cheaper, half that or less. So there are some options out there. So, if you've got somebody that really wants to print up something cool, or like our logo, Evan, you printed that up.
That was
at one
actually
point.
printed on a MakerBot. That was printed on
Is
the
that right?
Yeah, the one that you linked to, the Replicator 2.
Oh, okay.
And that's an awesome one. It is $2,000, but there are some cheaper ones out there that are doing something very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen quite a few on Kickstarter lately, but you can even go to Staples, and they've got the Cube. I think it's called the Cube X 3D printer.
So okay.
And then there's other ones like the Buccaneer at pirate3d.com. So I've seen some on Kickstarter and stuff, but yeah, they're getting down to like $500 for very similar resolutions, exact same technology as the MakerBot's using. So yeah, I think you can probably get started for, I don't know, $200. And so I'll do a little bit of link finding and throw those in the show notes, but I think that would be awesome. It's not as easy as they make it out to be in the movies, okay? But it's not terrible either. So there's even apps like on the iPad, like 123D Creature, and Autodesk has quite a few cool 3D apps like Formit, where you can actually send out your file right out of the app, and it'll just show up in the mail as a 3D print.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Really, really cool. So like 123D Creature is really fun because you can actually organically model characters or whatever you can think of, and then just hit 3D print, and it just will show up in your mailbox. It's amazing. So very cool.
So Pirate 3D, the Buccaneer.
The Buccaneer. That's the
like,
one that I... Yeah, it's
print me your booty.
Print me a new peg leg. So yeah, I think that one's like $500. Wow. Amazing, right? So very cool stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I think, the MakerBot's awesome. That one's got a bigger company behind it. It's got a lot more funding, a lot more users. And then these other ones, the software is really what's going to start setting these things apart, I think, where that's going to make it more accessible for people. But
now, how big are some of these? I mean,
they are like the size of a printer, of an actual printer, like a laser printer or smaller. They'll sit on top of your desk.
Okay.
The one that I've used, the one that we have at our office is a lot bigger. It's like 3 or 4 times the size of a microwave.
Oh wow!
But this one, like the Buccaneer, is like, I don't know, I want to say 16 inches square. It's not big at all.
So really,
it prints the same size stuff. So,
but I mean, you're not printing like you're printing small scale models. If you wanted to do like a scale model or something.
Yes. Yeah, I would say you're probably printing within like 6 inches square, 6-inch cube, something like that.
Well, that's kind of cool for study models and all sorts of other cool stuff. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's great for like massing models and stuff that you can mess with it even after you print it, or you can print out multiple parts and you can glue them together. That's another way to do it. So yeah, the one at Staples is called the Cubify, the Cube 3D printer, and it's $1,300. Super easy to use. So if you even go to Staples, they have a display set up. You can actually see it, touch it. So cool stuff.
Great.
So wait, what is this? Somebody just posted the link to Autodesk 123D.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that an app that you can?
The 123D Creature is the one where you can actually 3D model organic creatures that, like, it has bone structures, and you can paint them. You can spin them around. You can paint them different colors. You can throw a different backdrop in there. You can render them. But one of the options when you get to the end is you can actually 3D print it.
I can see some of my sketches come to life.
Exactly.
That would be quick. Well,
you can even start with something that somebody else already drew, and you can modify it. So there's like a whole gallery in there that you could start with, and then you can make modifications to other people's models, and then do whatever you want with them.
Next year, you guys are getting Krampus toys.
Nice. All right, now Cormac, it's time to stop looking at the printer. Next on the list.
Am I up?
Yep.
You're up.
Oh man. Let's see.
He's busy looking at the 3D printer.
No, I'm looking at my list. It was kind of a short one. Well, how about this?
Kind of like that bus you ride on?
Yes, exactly. All right. I've got 2 different ones on the list that are the same thing, but are absolutely necessary items for people who spend a lot of time out on site, job sites and stuff, and my phone, even though I bring it in, bring my phone and it's fully charged, I spend a lot of time, taking notes on it or doing field notes, and by the time I'm halfway through a job site visits, my phones are running low on battery, and I was looking at two of them. One is called the Power Vault. It's a portable device charger. And then I thought that, okay, this one's just basically an external battery pack. It's got to be pre-charged, and you bring it with you. It's kind of cool looking, so aesthetically, it's kind of fun. But then I was thinking, well, let's start thinking a little bit more green, and they've got a couple of solar-powered ones, and there was a great one that is a solar charger, and it can hook to your windshield. And so basically, rather than plugging it into your car or something like that, or you can you stick it on your window at your office, and it's just basically a solar-powered phone charger or iPad charger. I don't know about iPad, but it was showing all of the different things for the different phones. And I thought that those are always necessities.
How green of you to be in your office where there's power and yet still decide to use the solar charger.
You should. Actually, I saw one time, and
he's preparing for the new code.
Exactly. Well, actually, I've been using that code for a year now.
They're so ahead on the East Coast.
Well, we
all right.
The state of Maryland adopted 2012. Actually made it mandatory for the entire state, for any state-funded projects to be to use the 2012 code, beginning of 2013, either end of 2012, beginning of 2013. So we've been using it for several projects now, and unfortunately, we've been running into building inspectors who. We've got buildings that are designed and permitted under the 2009 code who are walking around the 2012 gigging us for things that we shouldn't be gigged on. Exactly.
Right.
But try to win that argument.
Awesome.
That's why you need the break, right? My first gift, you need that break.
Exactly. or Mark's
reason.
suggestion for the nap.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, I'm anti-nap here, so I am going with one of the 3 requirements of being an architect, which is to drink good coffee.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Don't even start, Neal.
All right.
I know you don't drink coffee,
I
so
don't.
Shut your pie hole.
All right, so here it is. I've been using this thing for the last 9 months, I'm thinking. It costs under $30. All right, it's called the AeroPress coffee maker, and this is an amazing coffee maker. It makes 1 cup at a time, which is all I need. I make this before I head off to work. And what I love about it is that it is super easy to clean. I don't have to remember to do anything the night before. I don't have to stop at my favorite coffee shop and spend $3 for a cup of coffee. So this thing's saving me money. And it is fun to use in the morning because what it is it looks like a chemistry set, right? It's 2 pieces of Lexan that you squeeze together, and it pushes air through your coffee to brew it when it brews. And it makes the best tasting coffee. They actually call it an espresso maker. It does make a very concentrated coffee, and you add water to it to get it the mix that you want. But this thing is awesome. And so you can look on Amazon. There's like a bunch of different configurations you can buy, but what I would do is get the one with the tote bag. You can take it with you to work. It's got 355 reviews. It's got 4.5 stars. And it is designed by the same guy who designed the Aerobee Frisbee, which is that pink neon Frisbee with a hole in the middle of it that flies like thousands of feet. You guys ever play with one of those? The same dude designed this, so it's got to be good. It's awesome.
I was looking
Frisbee
at it.
and coffee. All right.
That's right. Yeah, so it pushes air through. It pushes air through the coffee grounds,
Wow.
and that makes it so that it, like a French press, you're pushing the water through it, and it gets really kind of acidic and bitter tasting. This one, no bitterness. So
Water?
It pushes water through it. You put boiling water in it. You boil water in your kettle
right,
or your boiler, but you put it in there and it brews for like a minute, maybe 45 seconds. You push it through, but it's actually pushing air through, and there's no bitterness. It's just a great cup of coffee. You don't even need sweetener. So
now, if you since you're boiling the water with your kettle, are you using the Michael Graves Alessi kettle?
no,
I'm just kidding.
I have a nice bright orange kettle that I got from Sur La Table or something like that. It looks very nice. If you're wondering about the aesthetics of my kettle, you do not have to worry.
My kettle is 2 minutes in the microwave in my 2-cup plastic or measuring cup.
Yes, I know that route. I know that method.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I like to boil it because I like to hear the whistle. I get up early, I study for my exams, I put on the kettle, and there's a little bit of ritual to it. I like a little bit of ritual to making coffee because everything with automatic coffee makers has gone to the efficiency side. And I like making 1 cup of coffee. It's not that big of a deal, and I just enjoy that. So
well, it's interesting because I've got the old school drip one, but it's the 8-cup. I got to sit and measure out I got to scoop it out and put it in the filter and all that other stuff, and that's kind of my ritual. But I'm making it for my wife and I, and we both have like a cup before we leave, and then take a cup with us. So we make just enough. But I want to try this out only because the one thing that kind of is one of the reasons why I'm always drinking coffee, kind of like heavy cream, heavy sugar, is the bitterness of it.
This is awesome for that. And one thing that's really cool about this, like if you go camping, it's easy to take something like this with you. You don't, just take some ground coffee with you. All you got to do is boil some water, and you're good. So I recommend it. Sorry, Neal.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's coffee?
Yeah, what's coffee? Exactly. All right, well, I'm going to stick one more time here with the technology stuff, and I know Evan. All right, okay, this is the last one. I'm going to get to the... I'll get to my next one you're going to like. So
you two would be like heavy.
We don't have time for that.
Anyway. No, we have to. We're going to go long. So pull up your coffee maker, your Arrow coffee maker. We're going to go long. All right. So my next one is again a suggestion from one of our listeners, the GoPro camera.
Nice.
And these range anywhere from $70 to $400. But I have not personally used one. But Evan, I have a feeling maybe you have some thoughts on this.
I would love
being the outdoor mountain bike rider that you are.
Yeah, I've had my eye on these for a while. I mean, I honestly think I saw one at Costco the other day, the GoPro Hero, the silver edition, which is kind of the middle of the road one.
Uh-huh.
Right, I've seen that one.
I think it's normally $300. I think it was $229 at Costco. But it's between the silver and the black edition. One of the cool things about these is, there's wireless controller. There's an app on the phone that can control it, turn it on and off. You can actually even see what the camera is seeing. There's tons of different mounts for these things. Obviously, I think that's where GoPro really has the advantage, is all the different mounts. So you've got handlebars and chest and surfboard and snowboard and tripod and every different mount you could ever think of, which really makes these things super versatile. Obviously, waterproof housings and all that stuff. But I know a lot of people are using these on job sites for their cameras because they're waterproof, they're wireless.
Nice.
It just saves to a standard SD card, so it's easy to get the footage to your computer. They shoot full HD, I believe. I have to look it up, but at 60 frames a second, so you can actually do slow motion with these things. If you go to YouTube and just do a search for the GoPro channel and just watch their footage from like the last year, it is unbelievable, the stuff that people are doing with these things. And then one of my favorite things to watch with the GoPro footage is the Ken Block, I think it's called the Gymkhana, with his rally car that he does. He's done stuff in the streets of San Francisco, out on a barge in the bay. Some amazing footage that this guy, they put like 30 GoPro cameras on his car, and he just goes and does these amazing things, and it's just super fun to watch. So,
wow,
yeah, I mean, this would be a cool gift. You can feel free to hook me up.
Actually, Evan, the one that I'll have a link to here, the Hero 3 Plus, does all the way up to 720p at 120 frames a second. I was just reading
120, yeah. So you can slow it
really
down
go
to
slow.
25%, and that's awesome.
Well, there's one, and I'm going to post a link for you guys to, so that we can watch it and all that other stuff. But the GoPro weather balloon, I think that was one of the first ones that I ever saw. The GoPro camera was they basically, hooked up one of these GoPros to a weather balloon and sent it up, and essentially it went up into space. And so they've got this, a YouTube video, and it's the Project Space GoPro weather balloon.
Nice.
And,
man.
and I saw it and I was like, I've got to do that one day with my kids. That would just be fantastic. Sending up and taking our own video of.
I think I saw that one
because you get to see the curvature of the.
Yes.
Breaking the atmosphere. It goes from blue to black, and
then it comes down. Right, the camera survived.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And they actually have. So we'll go ahead and kind of post that as a gift idea, but they actually have like a whole like weather balloon kit that that GoPro basically you can we'll do the Amazon link to it, but
that is crazy.
High altitude Science Eagle weather balloon kit and all that other stuff. Only
That's
needs
awesome.
a camera and helium.
Wow.
So cool.
Okay, I had no idea this suggestion was going to be so cool.
Oh yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
that is just awesome.
The stratosphere.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just cool in general. I mean, I wanted to start putting links to like some of my favorite telescopes and stuff like that because we love star watching, and we've got some pretty decent telescopes here at the house. But that one right there, I've always thought, oh, that would be so great to do.
That's what that is. That's cool. All right. So you're up next, Cormac.
I just did it.
No, he did.
No, okay. You want to
just tagged on.
You just tagged on. You got a bonus.
Man. Well, all right. Fine.
I got another one. I can follow up with another one.
No. I'm going to go with my favorite fountain, my daily favorite fountain pen.
Oh yeah, I'm into this.
I know you, Evan. I know you got one too. The good old, tried and true Safari. The Lamy Safari fountain pen is, I usually get the fine tip nib on there, but it usually comes with a medium nib, and it's just a good pen.
Nice.
I turn it over, and you can get a finer nib, a finer line when you turn it over the opposite direction it's supposed to be used. But that's just a great pen, and they're like $20. But they're fantastic little pens.
And you can get the refillable.
You can get the refillable ones, or you can get just the little.
It's just a cartridge, right? And you just get it, and I bought the Noodler's ink, which I think is awesome ink. What's nice about it is it won't clog your pen.
Yeah.
It keeps it flowing. There's some kind of extra lubricant or additive or something in there that just keeps everything moving through, which is what makes it really great. And it's also waterproof and it won't run as bad. But that's good ink. But for $25,
oh yeah,
you're going to have a pen and a bottle of ink that's going to last you for 10 years. You know, it's awesome.
Or like maybe 6 months in my case.
So can you just replace the nib on those, or do you have to replace the whole thing?
I mean, you actually have to get it set out to change it, because it's not like one of the older kinds where you could basically unscrew the nib, change out the nib. You know, I collect these older pens that the company's long since gone, but it's called Esterbrook, and they were just these fantastic, basically daily users. And you could unscrew it, and you could basically, it had a whole plethora of different nibs, from, you know, like a drafting one all the way to calligraphy and anything in between. They're not as user friendly as those, only in the case of, you know, you would have to send it out or order a kit to change the nib out. But I mean, you know, they're so well made that they last forever anyway. I mean, I have one that I've been using since architecture school, and then I got one that my kids bought for me for Father's Day, just this past Father's Day. So, you know, they last forever.
Yeah, that's cool. I really like using a fountain pen. Again, kind of getting back to the ritual idea of the things that we do. I think it just brings a little bit of sanity back to the crazy deadlines and the speed at which we have to work and the digitalness of our life. It's really cool to get a fountain pen and a nice moleskin notebook and just sketch, you know, like we talked about in the last episode. Yeah,
and I go one step further on that, and because all of my old antiques, the antiques that I have, you know, I've got these Esterbrook that are the lever action fills.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there at my desk at work, and I've got a bottle of ink, and my bottle of ink of choice is the Waterman Blue Black ink. You know, it's just I love the color. You know, blue black ink is awesome. Yeah. But I'm sitting there, and I've got the pen taken apart, so halfway taken apart, stick it in the bottle of ink, and I'm sitting there, you know, kind of like doing the little snorkel, and it's just kind of like sucking the ink up into the bladder, and people are looking at me like, what? You know, I mean, if you remember the good old the like Laurel and Hardy or Three Stooges, where they take the fountain pen and they kind of like squirt it at people.
Yeah,
those are the pens that, you know, they use, and I still use those all the time, and they're they're hard when they drain out of ink pretty quickly, but because they don't really hold much, but they're just fun, and it's that ritual that you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know,
it's very cool. And if you guys listened to our last episode where we talked about the sketchbook mechanics and stuff, we had a great comment on that episode, and we ended up reposting it on the blog, and that was, I think it was Steve Hall's entry on, because at the end of the episode we asked, you know, what do you guys use, and so he wrote an essay about his setup, and it's a really cool read. So if you go to archispeakpodcast.com/blog, you can read his setup, and he lays it all out. It's very, very cool read, so definitely check that out. And he also uses the blue black ink like you're talking about.
It's great ink.
Yep. All right, so I guess it's my turn here. Let's see. I'm going to go with probably pushing at the top end of the price list here, up there with the 3D printer. And this is the camera that I bought about a year and a half ago, and it is the Olympus OMD EM5. It's a micro 4/3, so it looks like an SLR, but it's about 2/3 the size of an SLR, so it's not like this giant weight hanging from your neck. Has interchangeable lenses. This is an unbelievable camera. The lenses are awesome, super fast lenses, great depth of field. I can't say enough good things about this camera. If you go to my website, evantroxel.com, and you go under the weekly photos section, you can see some of the photos that I've taken with this thing. I fell in love with this camera. It looks gorgeous. It's kind of got a retro look. It looks like the old Olympus OM series cameras, and which were great cameras also. You can still buy those things on eBay. But it's $1,000. It's not a point and shoot. I mean, it has full manual controls if you want, but man, this thing just takes amazing photos. I'm the kind of guy, I lost my last camera. I used my iPhone for like a year and a half as my only camera. And then I decided to upgrade to a real camera once again because I just missed having the resolution and the sharpness. And this has just been the best camera, and it's on like the top list for all these different photo blogs. So I definitely recommend it. It's the OMD EM5, and it's a great camera.
Can I mention an article that I read today on MSN.com's, like the news, and they were talking about, I guess it was the 14 companies that will be out of business in 2014.
Wow.
Olympus was one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, it was actually
buy it now then.
It was. I think they were talking about how like actual cameras are. They're people aren't using cameras anymore. They're using the just phones and all that other stuff. And sure they are, but you still have this serious photographer that's going to be out there taking photographs.
I mean, even if you go and look at my page and look at the photos, and you just, as soon as you look at the photo, there's no way you could capture that with a camera
absolutely.
phone.
I mean,
and that's really where it stands apart. It's just they're gorgeous. They're going to last. These photos are ones you're going to want to hang up on your wall. They're just awesome.
I would love to buy a Leica. I mean, if I could afford, an $8,000 camera, I'd have one, hanging around my neck. But have you seen speaking of cameras, have you seen the new Nikon DF that just came out?
No.
It is a new digital camera that is the exact body of the old.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's got a lot of the similar traits of like, the old Nikons or the old Canon AE1s, and things like that. But it's digital, and it's, you can, interchangeable lenses and everything.
Sony has one out too. I think it's called the A7. It's very retro looking, but again, amazing sensor.
Yes.
Yes.
In that,
the lens compatibility is awesome. So the cool thing about the Micro Four Thirds is the weight. If you're like me and you're going around cool architectural buildings, as soon as you pull out a big camera, the security guard's like, "Get out of here." But with a smaller camera, you don't feel like you're so threatening out there. You can just snap and take some pictures. But the image quality is right up there with it. I mean, it's really amazing what you can capture with these. And you can shoot full high-def video. You can shoot 9 frames a second if you want to do, action photography. There's so many. The technology really is there to do some amazing things, and it's in a small package with interchangeable lenses. So I can't recommend it enough. It's really cool, and you can plug any lens onto these things. I mean, there's adapters that allow you to put 50-year-old glass onto the front of these things, so you can have full, just manual focus, a gorgeous Canon lens or a Nikon lens, and you can throw them on this Olympus. It's really cool stuff.
That'd be great, because I've got my dad's old Minolta.
Yeah.
And I've got tons of great lenses on there.
Yeah, like I picked up an old 200 millimeter lens off eBay that with an adapter, it goes right on. I use it to shoot pictures of the moon, because you can get full frame moon shots. It's really cool stuff. So And the cool thing is that
Don't
there's
give Neal any ideas.
it's got a 5-axis image stabilizer in the body of the camera, so you can throw
Really?
any lens on there, and it's still going to stabilize the image. So it's not in the lens like Canon does.
Right.
So you don't have to buy the super expensive lenses. You could throw any lens on there, and the image stabilizer is in the camera body, which
that's
is
cool.
really
That's
helpful.
very cool.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Pan.
All right.
Speaking of the moon.
Speaking of the moon, my next one is something else that was recommended when I put it out there. Is back to the not a pen this time though, Cormac. It's the Rot Ring Black Barrel Mechanical Pencil. Comes in multiple sizes, widths, I should say, not necessarily sizes for lead thickness. And it looks like just a really good mechanical pencil, for those times when you need to have a mechanical pencil.
Okay.
I have one, and it's a great pencil.
There you go.
Cormac's
stamp of approval.
There you go. The sketcher's life is me. I am trying to pull up one of these links. I don't know if it's my turn. Is it back to me?
It's your turn. Yeah.
All
that was a
right.
quick one.
Bluetooth speakers. Everybody's got their own preference. My particular preference is Bose. I've been faithful to Bose speakers forever. Ever since when I was in the Army, my very first speaker when I went out to splurge on my first paycheck was a set of Bose 901s. And I haven't looked back. I've been faithful to Bose, and they've done some great stuff. And there is and for some reason the link that I posted is not clicking to the
I got
actual,
it to come up. It came up for me.
So it's
your East Coast connection.
It must be, because it keeps coming up with like Evans headphones, which are great headphones too. But it's basically the Bose SoundLink Mini. Mini Bluetooth speaker, and I like it. We use the Bluetooth speaker for my daughter's birthday party, where I basically just put the playlist of the 80s songs that she wanted on, for her birthday party on my phone, and just brought the little, speaker in hand, and we played like Freeze Dance and all that other stuff. But it's just it's got great sound for a small compact speaker, and we've used it on trips where we'll be driving, the kids are watching a movie on the iPad, and I want to hear it, but obviously not going to be able to watch the movie, but at least kind of like hear the movie, and rather than just playing it through the car speakers, since I have an old car, but both of them have tape players, so not very many people can say that.
Players. Those.
So this speaker has 620 5-star reviews. That's pretty telling.
Yeah, I've got so many different little Bose this and that's to my clock radio that my wife used to criticize me for before she started really listening to it. She's like, "You paid $400 for a clock radio?" I'm like, no, the sound wave radio.
Yeah.
I have one of those, and I got one of the first ones that came out, and it's brilliant sound for a compact little thing. It's just, they do fantastic. I love their headphones. I've got the over the ear headphones. I like good music. I like good sound, and I like good quality that comes from the Bose speakers. Now, Bose, please send me all of your new products at Cormac Phelan.
Right.
All right. I have the Jam Box by Jawbone, And this one has 1,139 five-star reviews. So you need to talk to your people and get some more five-star reviews before you start competing with my Bluetooth speaker. All right?
That's not on your list.
No, it's not. But it's great. I love it.
There you go.
It's very similar. They're probably the same thing. So, yeah, cool stuff. I think that these things are awesome. And I use it in the kitchen. I use it out in the garage when I'm out working on the car, because I also have an old car. And, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely awesome to have these wireless speakers. So, cool.
I'm going to put, I'm reading up on this AeroPress coffee maker. I'm going to put it on my list and text it to my wife.
You can't go wrong. All right, I'm going to finish my list up with something that I have pre-ordered. It's not available yet. There's actually only a few days left for the initial 50% off offer. But have you guys seen this thing, Coin?
Yep. Yeah, I've seen it.
It's the card to, it says, use one coin for all of your cards. And basically it's a digital credit card that lets you store an unlimited number of other cards in an app on your iPhone or your smartphone. But then it'll transmit up to 8 different cards onto this thing, and you just push a button and you can kind of cycle through the different cards that you want to use it for. So it could be store cards or credit cards or whatever. And one card in your wallet can take the place of several others. And if any time one of the cards that you want to use is not on it, you just pull up the app and on your phone and tell it, send this card onto the card, and there it is. It just shows up. So if you want your Starbucks card on there or whatever, and it's not on there already, you can easily just do that. I think that this kind of stuff is super cool. It's $50. It is a totally geeky, tech gadgety kind of a thing, but I think that being able to get in on this stuff early and play with it, I like supporting people who are doing cool stuff like this. So I thought that this would be a cool gift idea. So
actually, you know what, Evan? By the time this podcast goes live, because we don't live in linear time here,
it'll be full price.
It'll be full price, so it'll be $100.
Yeah.
There's only 4 days left as of right now, and by the time this podcast goes live, that offer will probably be up. But still, it's a very clever idea.
It's really cool. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm okay with trying it out. I actually ordered one for myself and my wife. She was like, "Oh, that's so cool. I want to try it too." And I know that there's going to be some places we go into who are going to be like, "I'm not swiping that card through my machine."
Right. But
I'm sure there will be lots of people who also know about it and know about the security on it and stuff like that. And so I think that it's not going to be as big a deal as a lot of people are making it out to be now. And plus, their website's really cool, so definitely check it out. There's a lot of neat animations. So this actually comes out summer of 2014, so we're about 6 months away. Bleeding edge technology right here.
This is bleeding edge. This is really clever, and I thought about doing it, but then I looked at the cards in my wallet and said, "There's one. I only use one card."
I mostly do too, but I've got a few other things that I would like to have access to.
Sure.
AAA. There's a bunch of things on there. Your Kaiser card, whatever you've got. There's always going to be something that sometimes, they're the 1% cards, the ones that you never use, but you need one all of a sudden, and that this is one way to get it. So I think that this is a cool thing.
Nifty. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to go. My next one is going to. It's not my last one though, but I got a couple more. But this one is another reader suggestion. I shouldn't say reader, listener suggestion. And so we'll have to say, only do this with safety here involved. But it is the original Daisy Red Ryder BB gun. Was a suggestion for us.
This is awesome.
So, and so I don't know what really to say about this.
You don't need to say.
I don't need to say anything. Say nothing. All right. So the Daisy Red Ryder BB gun.
Only those who know.
Check this
know.
out. There you go.
That's awesome.
Short and sweet.
Yep. Very cool. You're going to shoot your eye out.
Mm-hmm. You know,
Don't
they
sue
actually
us.
they have a little museum because
serious?
up in why am I forgetting the name of the place? It's Plymouth, Michigan, and that's actually where the Daisy BB gun company had started. I guess they've been bought out and moved to like Kansas City or something like that. But the you can go to the Plymouth
partner.
Yeah, you go to the Plymouth Historic Museum, and they've got kind of a little thing about both the BB gun, just the BB gun in general, but also a Christmas story. And so they do a little thing about the Christmas story there too. And because the BB gun did not exist, that particular BB gun model didn't exist, they kind of made one up for the movie. That the Daisy actually made a special edition Red Ryder BB gun with the compass in the stock and all that other stuff.
Nice.
After that, so it became like their number one seller. And I'm like,
awesome.
Hey, I'd love to have one.
Kind of lucky there, aren't they?
All right, this is very cool. All right, so Cormac, next.
Go ahead, because I actually only have one more, but I'll save it for last.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So I had another one here, and this was another listener suggestion. I'm going to be specific, but the general suggestion was books. And I know we did a very early episode of the Archispeak podcast about what's on our bookshelf. So go back and check that one out for some great book suggestions. But I'm going to throw out two books that I have both of them. I was a small contributor to one, but the first one I'm going to mention is Apple Design by Frederick von Borres. And it's a really cool book about Apple's design. And so it comes in a really great hardcover edition, and I really highly recommend it for just all the different design that Apple's done over the years with all kinds of different examples and great photography, and it's just a great book. So I'd recommend that. And the next one is it's a new book that just recently came out, and actually I've been following the author during his journey, I would say, for the last 4 years, and he actually asked me for a quote, and it's published in the book, so that's kind of cool. So, but it's called Iconic: A Photographic Tribute to Apple Innovation, and it's by Jonathan Zufi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But he went on this journey to actually collect and learned how to photograph all of as many Apple products from literally the Apple I all the way up through, earlier this year. And the photography is just fantastic, and he tells the story in there a little bit about how he learned to photograph, and he has a whole website that has everything that he's done, but the book is just a fantastic coffee table book, showcasing all of this. And so, those are a couple of books I recommend. There's plenty others for architects out there, and we'll put a link in for that episode that we did on that, so you can go back and review that. But
Evan,
and if Evan,
I was curious, do you have a couple that you want to throw out?
Couple books?
Yeah. There you go.
I'm just curious if because when you started talking, Neal, I have two that I wanted to plug came to mind, and I'm curious if Evan's got any.
Yeah, go for it, because I didn't think about it.
When Neal started talking, I kind of like whipped around and looked at my bookshelf. But behind me, and there's 2 books. They're older books. They've been out for a while, but both of them are on the same subject, and both of them are about the rural studio from my alma mater, Auburn University. And both of them, one is the first book that came out is called Rural Studio, and it's from Andrea Oppenheimer Dean, and photographs by Tim Hersley. And the second one is Proceed and Be Bold. It's basically life of the rural studio and life after Sam Mockbee. And both of them are fantastic books. They talk about basically the journey of the rural studio from its conception to coming into fruition, and kind of Sam Mockbee's journey of trying to convince all of these people that he wanted to basically do a crazy little design build studio in the middle of nowhere off campus and take, a full design studio of second year and thesis students out into the middle of nowhere. And it's about social architecture and trying to make a difference with the stuff we actually do. So they're great books to read, beautiful photographs. I think he's one of the, Timothy Hersley is probably one of the best architectural photographs of the modern era. I mean, there's obviously plenty of older ones, but so you guys should check those out.
Very cool.
Awesome.
All right, I have one last one that's like a great little thing to have at your desk, at the studio, at your office. And you guys have those self-inking stamps for any reason, that you got to stamp your drawing with?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what's on yours? Like what kind of stamps do you have?
Office copy.
Office copy.
I have my architectural license as a stamp. That's it.
Okay. So last Christmas, a friend of mine sent me, I had this one on my Amazon wish list, which is a public wish list, I guess. So this package shows up in the mail. Oh, sweet. What's this? And it's a WTF stamp.
Perfect.
And it is so appropriate to have at the office because there are so many times when something comes across your desk and you just want to stamp it with that and send it back.
I need a digital one for all of the RFIs I get.
You can make one,
Yeah, you can
add
make
it to
one.
Bluebeam or whatever. This thing is awesome. And so now my neighbor Mark, he even has one. His is a little bigger than mine. And so we get little stamping parties going on sometimes with our WTF stamps. So.
Did you guys see the official BS button? That's a good one too.
It's like the Staples
It's like
Easy
the
button.
Staples button, but it's on the same page as.
So yeah, you can get this thing on
All right.
Amazon, and
Yep.
it's inexpensive
$9.
gift that's great to have around the studio. So definitely pick one of these things up.
I love
WTF does WTF mean?
that. We're not going to say. Google it. This is a family-friendly show. Most of the time.
All right, that's it for me.
No, you have another one in here that I want.
Yeah,
you to
I've got more
mention.
in there, but
All right.
Yeah, we'll
I
post
will
it.
have a link to it in the. There'll be some bonus links in the show notes, so definitely take a look at those.
this could go on forever.
It could,
It could.
but I'm gonna wrap up with my last one because I was talking about books, and because I like my comics, and I know Cormac does too. So, a really cool gift for that comic lover who may also be an architect is a comic book picture frame. These go for between $10 and $15, and they're kind of nothing more than a plastic type case. Has some special UV plastic on it, but basically you can take your favorite comic. Could be something really old. I have actually a copy of Fantastic Four issue number 18. So that's from about 1963, maybe 63, 64. and it's hanging on the wall in my office. So really cool way to display, really great comic, fantastic art, or your favorite old issue, and put it on display instead of sitting in that long box.
There you go.
Very cool.
And I have one more, and this is a purely selfish one. I need tickets to the national championship game in Pasadena, California, January 6th.
Send Cormac out to visit Evan.
Send Cormac to visit Evan.
That's right.
And get him some national championship tickets.
Why? Why would anyone want to do that?
Oh, I believe Auburn University is there.
Ooh,
football. I think you can
Football.
cut this part out.
Yeah,
sports.
yeah.
They played football in college?
In mine.
No, okay. Yeah, I know.
You can't go to an SEC school without football.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, then this little bonus extra long episode is going to should wrap it up here. So if you have any questions or comments, please visit our website, archispeakpodcast.com. And there you'll find links to the Archispeak Podcast Twitter account, our individual Twitter's accounts, and the Archispeak Facebook page. And we also enjoy listening from our listeners, or also enjoy hearing from... Wow, it's late. Sorry. We also enjoy hearing from our listeners as well. So call and leave us a message with your holiday gift ideas at 415-484-8496. And please leave us a review on iTunes. We really like those.
And buy the Archispeak t-shirt.
Absolutely.
This is your chance. I mean, we don't know when we're going to do this again, so grab it while you can for the next 2 weeks. And we would love to send you a t-shirt or two. All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.